Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In today's session, let's cover a new library in Python which is the Matplotlib. We have already covered other two libraries in Python, that is the NumPy and the Pandas, and this is the third library which we'll be covering from this particular session. So what is Matplotlib? Matplotlib is an open source Python library which is helpful for data visualization and helps in producing customized charts and graphs. Visualization helps in understanding the data better, find patterns and trends. Visualization makes the data more appealing as graphs, charts, or figures convey more detail than the raw data. It also provides more insights and information than mere raw data. We can use Matplotlib to build several chart types like line chart, bar chart, pie chart, scatter plots, and histograms. So, with the help of Matplotlib, we can build several chart types, and basically they are the line charts or the bar charts, pie charts, scatter plots, and histograms. Choosing the right type of chart to represent your data is also very important. You have some raw data, and choosing the right type of chart to represent your data is very much important. So we have to select the best chart type that represents your data perfectly and communicate it more aptly. We have to ask ourselves three questions for visualizing the data. What are the three questions? What type of data you are visualizing is the first question. Whether it is a time series data, categorical data, or relationship data. You have to first find out what type of data I am visualizing. Second one is what do you want to communicate? So, with your data to the end user, what you want to communicate. So, that is the second question what you want to communicate with the data which you are having. The third one is who is the end user and what do they need? So, who is the end user and what they need becomes your third question which you have to ask for yourself. For continuous data, you can use line chart. For categorical data, you can use pie, donut, or bar chart. So, for different types of data, we can use different types of charts. So, choosing the right type of chart to convey the information to the end user ultimately becomes the most important thing. So, having done this, now some topics which we are covering in this overall matplotlib session is the basics of matplotlib, the plotting frameworks, that is the pie plot or object oriented plotting, chart formats, and chart types, whether it's a line chart, bar chart, histogram, pie, or scatter plot. So there are two frameworks. One is the PyPlot API and the second one is the object oriented plotting. Firstly, let's draw a simple graph with the help of PyPlot API. So simple plot using PyPlot API. So firstly, let me import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So PLT is nothing but the alias name for matplotlib.pyplot. So in the program, everywhere you need not write matplotlib.pyplot. You can use the alias name for writing matplotlib.pyplot. Now I want a simple plot, that is a line plot. So I'm using the alias name, that is PLT dot plot is the function with which I'm plotting the graph, and then I have to say plot plt dot show. Show means it will display the graph onto the screen. So now what is the data I have to pass for the plot function? So we need to pass the x-axis and the y-axis. But if I pass only one list, one argument, one list with the data in it as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't pass any other list, only one list I'm passing. So this list represents the y-axis values, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 represents the y-axis values. And what will be the x coordinates? X coordinates will hold the default index values. For 10 it will be 0, in x value will be 0, for 20 x value will be 1, for 30 x value will be 2, for 40 x value will be 3, and for 50 x value will be 4. So it will take the index values of the y items in the list as the x coordinates. Now if I plot the graph, if I run my code, see, index value will start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And the values for 0 it is 10. So it is 10. For 1 it is 20. For 2 it is 30. Or I can use the grid so that you'll understand it better. Plt dot grid. Now if I run the code. So for 0 it is 10. For 1 it is 20. For 2 it is 30. For 3 it is 40 and for 4 it is 50. So in this way we can plot the graph. Now if I specify my x values explicitly, that is, let me pass in another list and let me pass my values a, comma b, comma c, comma d, comma e. So if I pass my x values as explicitly in the plot function, then instead of the default values, it will have these particular values in the graph. So it will have A, B, C, D, E because I've explicitly passed the x values. So it won't consider the default values. So this is the simple plot using pyplot.api. Now let's do the same graph using object oriented plotting method. For this, again I have to import my Matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So I'm importing matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Then I'm saying figure comma axis, fig comma axis equal to plt dot subplots. We have to give the statement in object oriented plotting. And then instead of plt dot plot, I have to use axis dot plot. And within the list, I'm passing the values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then plt dot show. So now when I plot, I get the same plot wherein x values it has considered the default x values, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and y values are the values which we have specified in the list. Now if I have to specify my x values explicitly, then I can give it in the list format, the x values. So let me pass it as a, b, c, d and e. So now when I run the code, it should be another comma over here. Now when I run the code, so instead of the default values, now we have got the x values which were specified in the plot function. So it is a, b, c, d, e, and then the y values are 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. So this is how, with the help of PyPlot API and object-oriented plotting, we can get the graphs. In this session, we have seen a simple graph. Going on, let's see the difference between PyPlot API and object-oriented plotting, and the different chart formats, and also the different types of charts which we can do in Matplotlib. So hope so friends, it was clear for you. So basically, it's an open source library. Matplotlib is an open source Python library which is used for data visualization to produce customized charts and graphs. It helps us to understand the data better, find patterns and trends. It makes data more appealing because we get different types of charts, and it conveys more detail than the mere or raw data. It provides more insights and information. There are different chart types. They are the line chart, bar chart, pie chart, scatter plots, and histograms. And the three questions which we have to ask ourselves is, what is the type of data we are visualizing? What do we want to communicate with our data? And who is the end user and what they need? For different types of data, we can have different chart types. So these are the things which we have to remember, friends. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button, and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.